like to kind of talk about some of the things that you've done. I know you were like a NAMM show panelist. Can you kind of talk about that and explain what that is?
Yeah, well, a few years ago, I got really passionate about I guess mentorship and like giving back through the experiences that I've been really fortunate to have. I think the first one came from Grammy Camp, the Recording Academy that puts on the Grammy Awards have a program they call Grammy Camp, where the best high school music students from around the country submit an application to be able to be a part of this camp. And a small group of them get selected, and there's some that are musicians, there's some that are like vocalists and singer songwriters, there's others that want to be a producer and others that want to be in management, and they put all these different groups together, and it's a summer camp for high school kids. And so one year I got asked to come in, and I think we did like a panel, and then they brought the production group of the kids into a studio when I was working on a record, and just seeing their like energy and just excitement around it, and then just the caliber of their talent, because these are the best kids from around the country that all had to submit to be able to be accepted into this program. So it's not like just anybody can sign up. And there was so much talent, and it really like reinvigorated my spirit just being around them. And that got me passionate about the idea of like mentorship and education. And I felt like, I guess, I got enough experience at this point and that I could give back and be able to, share some insight. I feel like we're always learning every day. So it's always a question about like how ready are you to feel like you're the person that can tell them how to do something. But I felt like I had enough to be able to. So I started doing that. And then I got approached by a school called the Recording Connection that has a mentorship-based audio engineering program. So students will learn one-on-one with a mentor in a real studio that's working, as opposed to like in a classroom with a bunch of other students. I really liked the idea of that program, so I agreed to come on as an instructor, and they started sending some students in. And the great thing about the program too is I get to pick my students, so I get to choose the people that I think I can do a really good job for and that I think are meant to take this career path and stuff. And so I really enjoyed doing that. And then I got into the NAMM stuff because I was going out to the NAMM show to learn and to network and to seek out sponsors for an online music show that I produced. And I made a lot of really great connections through that. And that was my main focus, was just really to go out and like, network and things. But through that, I met this whole other side of the music industry that's in the product, side of things. So these are all like the artist reps for all the major companies and the marketing people of the companies and the designers of new products and instruments and all that. And there's just this whole world of this other side of the industry that I had no idea about. We use all this stuff, but there's this whole community of people, and everybody's just really cool and friendly and just as cool as people are in the creation side of the industry. So I started making some cool friends there, and some companies started endorsing me and the show that we had. And so through that, I just kind of got tied into the community of that. And for people that don't know what NAMM is, it's the National Association of Music Merchants, I believe. And but the idea is that all of the people that make musical products, and then all of the dealers, people that are like guitar centers and Sam Ash and local music shops and that sort of thing, they go out to see all the new products and then place their orders for the year. So it's a conference for that to come together. Now with that, they have a lot of really great panels and educational content and stuff. So for years, I was just hanging out, sitting in the room, asking questions, just engaging in information. But after building some good relationships with some different folks there, one of my really good friends named Shalise, who was a head of marketing at Taylor Guitars, ended up moving over to be head of marketing for NAMM. And she made a recommendation for me to be a speaker a few years ago. And David Schwartz, who runs a lot of the panel things there, sent me an email and said, hey, that sounds great. What would you like to talk about? And we came up with a cool idea about entrepreneurship in the recording industry. And that was the first, one that I did a few years ago. They really enjoyed it, and they asked me to come back. And so I've been doing it for a few years now. And we have another one that's coming up with Believe in Music Week that's happening in mid-January, because this year we're not going to be able to have the in-person conference. So they're doing one virtually, and we just shot the content for it a couple weeks ago. So that's been a lot of fun. And I learn a lot through doing that stuff because I'm like researching things, and then you're thinking more analytically about your process, which has been a blast. And you connect with new folks and stuff, and it's a fun thing to be a part of. So that got me really excited about speaking, and then I started getting asked to do podcast stuff and all that, and I love that because it's just I always wanted to hear the stories of people and kind of how they found their path, so I could find my own lane to be able to roll through. And so my hope is that I can take the time to do these sorts of things and give the feedback, and hopefully it'll help somebody else be able to find their own path, their own fulfillment with whatever their passion is.